distinguished brothers, very happy birthday, long life, prosperity, and many more years of service to our fatherland. Yes, distinguished colleagues, welcome. We have a delegation from the state office. I want to acknowledge the presence of a delegation from the Lagos State Office of Political, Legislative, and Civic Engagement from Lagos State Government, who are in the gallery to observe today's proceedings. I want to wish you fruitful observations of the proceedings of the day and journey mercies back home. So you may be seated.
No, is this Friday?
Where is the engineer?
The most important.
But still check. Let me also acknowledge the presence of staff and students of Centagon International School, Maitama Abuja, who are in the gallery to observe today's proceedings. Yeah, I wish you fruitful observation and God's mercies as you return to your school. You may be seated. I also have to acknowledge the staff and students of Usiju International School's the secondary section of Maraba Kuku in Nasarawa State, who are in the gallery to observe today's proceedings. I wish you fruitful observation and journey mercies back to your school. You may be seated. Distinguished colleagues, correspondences from Mr. President. Distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio GCON, President of the Senate. Distinguished SP, confirmation of appointment of Chairman and Commissioners of the Federal Character Commission. In accordance with the provisions of Section 154, Subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, I am pleased to present for confirmation by the Senate the underlisted 39 names of nominees, as one as a chairman and others as commissioners of Federal Character Commission, FCC, as follows. Honorable Mrs. Ayo Uluyat Omidiran from Osun State as chairman. Honorable Obinna Oriaku, Abia State, as commissioner. Mrs. Bema Madai Adamawa as commissioner. Mrs. Eunice Thomas Akwa Ibom State as commissioner. Honorable Noli Nkechi Gloria, PhD, Anambra State, as commissioner. Babangida Adamu Guana of Bauchi as commissioner. Sir Toye Okio from Bayelsa State as commissioner. Alegba Eugene Takende, Benue State, as commissioner. Engineer Modu Mustafa, Borno State, as commissioner. Dr. Stella Ode Ekpo, Cross River State, as commissioner. Ederin Lovett Idisi from Delta State, as commissioner. Barrister Nwokpo Vincent Nduka, Ebonyi State, as commissioner. Honorable Chief Victor Sabo Edoro, Edo State, as commissioner. Honorable Shola Fokanle, Ekiti State, as commissioner. Peter Eze of Enugu State, as commissioner. Ibrahim Baba Mairiga of Gombe State, as commissioner. Honorable Jerry Alagbaso of Imo State, as commissioner. Lawal Yao Roni, I don't know why there's it is shortened to renewal. Jigawa State, as commissioner. Ruth Jumai Ango of Kaduna State, as commissioner. Muhammad Awal Naya of Kano as Commissioner. Honorable Anas Isa Katsina State as Commissioner. Okay. Abubakar Atiku Bunu, another renewal, Kebbi State as Commissioner. Bello Idris Eneye, Kogi State as Commissioner. Dr. Ibrahim Abdullahi, Kwara State as Commissioner. Abdul Wasiu Kayode Bawahala, is this a renewal from Lagos State as Commissioner? Halima Jabiru Amadu, Nasarawa State Commissioner. Alhaji Isa Jibrin. Alhaji Isa Jibrin, Niger State as Commissioner. Honorable Kayode Oladele, Ogun State as Commissioner. Comrade Ajimuda Bola, Ondo State as Commissioner. Mr. Eludayo Eluyemi, Osun State, this is renewal, as Commissioner. Prince Ayodeji Abbas Alashin Loye, Oyo State as Commissioner. Honorable Pam Botman of Plateau State as Commissioner. Aaron Chukwuemeka, River State as Commissioner. Alhaji Aminu Tamba T, Sokoto State as Commissioner. Comrade Boboy Bala Kaikama, Taraba State as Commissioner. Honorable Jibe Maigari, Yobe State as Commissioner. Sani Garuba, Zamfara State as Commissioner. And Solomon Ayuba Dagami, FCT as Commissioner. Whilst hoping that the Senate will consider and confirm the appointment of the chairman and members of the FCC, please accept, distinguished Senate President and distinguished senators, the assurances of my highest consideration. Yours sincerely, signed, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President, Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is referred to the Committee on Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs to report back to the Senate in 2 weeks. What? Another correspondence from Mr. President. Distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio, GCON, President of the Senate, National Assembly Complex. Distinguished Senate President, request for confirmation of appointment of the Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. In accordance with the provisions of Section 154, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, I am pleased to present for confirmation by the Senate the appointment of Professor Joash Amupitan, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, as Chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Attached share is his curriculum vitae, while hoping that the Senate will consider and confirm the appointment of the nominee in his usual expeditious manner. Please accept, distinguished Senate President, the assurances of my highest consideration. This is referred to the Committee of the Whole for consideration as soon as practicable. This is a delegation to attend the burial ceremony of the former Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Agunwa and Anakwe. The burial should be, I think, on this Thursday or thereabout, or this weekend. But they'll find out. Friday this week. Okay, 17th. So you have the senior Senator Mongunu as the team leader. He was your speaker. I suspected it. So may his soul rest in peace. Senator Ositangu. No, Senator Osita is on Aso. Senator Patrick Ndubueze. Senator Ned Nwoko. Senator Cyril Fasui. Senator Victor Ome. Senator Tony Woye. And the senior Senator Emmanuel Nwachukwu. They will represent the Senate and issue condolences and courtesies to the family and the state. The other announcement is that the entire people of Enugu State, led by their state governor, the deputy governor, the speaker, all are going to formally celebrate their movement from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress this afternoon by 2 o'clock. So I wish the progressive family, brother and white coverage of Nigeria. This is the 60th birthday anniversary of Professor Abubakar Suleiman, Director General, National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, which will be commemorated with the public presentation of 2 publications authored in the course of his personal, academic, and public service. The book presenter and distinguished guests of honor at the event will be the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima GCON. The President of the Senate is billed to be the chief host. The event is to hold on Thursday, 16th October 2025 at Transcorp Center, Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja. by 1 p.m. All distinguished senators are kindly requested to attend. Morning. Final announcement for the day. With a heart full of gratitude to God Almighty, I wish to announce the formal notice of resignation from the People's Democratic Party and the formal joinage of the All Progressives Congress. I have the honor to respectfully notify all distinguished senators of my defection from the People's Democratic Party with effect from 11th day of October 2025 and joining the All Progressives Congress. This decision, though not taken lightly, follows extensive consultations with critical stakeholders, political associates, and my constituents from the Bauchi North Senatorial District. It has become evident that the prolonged internal divisions, recurring factionalization, and crisis, loss of strategic direction within the People's Democratic Party have gravely constrained my ability to discharge my constitutional responsibilities effectively and in good conscience. As one deeply committed to the service of our nation and the welfare of my people, I have found it necessary to realign my political engagements with a more progressive platform that embodies good governance, unity, progress, growth, and discipline in the governance of our country. Consequently, I have chosen to join the All Progressives Congress, APC, and to lend my full commitment to the implementation of the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, DCFR. I hold in high regards the bold and transformative reforms initiated by the President, aimed at restoring economic stability, strengthening governance, and repositioning our nation for sustainable growth. These efforts to reflect the decisive leadership of our country, and that's what Nigeria needs. I'm confident that these reform efforts align with my legislative ideals and my enduring conviction to contribute meaningfully to Nigeria's development and democratic advancement. Permit me, Your Excellency, the Senate President, to express my deep appreciation to you for your exemplary leadership of the 10th Senate that has attracted all and sundry from the opposition side. Your commitment to unity and legislative excellence continues to inspire confidence across party lines, and I remain committed to working under your guidance in advancing the Senate's constitutional mandate and ensuring the well-being of all Nigerian people. Please accept, Your Excellency, the assurances of my highest regard and unwavering commitment to the unity, peace, and progress of our party, the All Progressive Congress, and our nation in general. This is signed, this is signed, this is signed, this is signed, this is signed by Dr. Smaila Dahua Kaila, MBBS. Dr. Kaila, congratulations. I was almost thinking that I was reading a letter from Senator Ningi, but it's okay. Leader of the Senate, please do your work. You are welcome to the APC.
Distinguished senators, resume your seats. Resume your seats. Senator Wadada, resume your seat. Senator Cyril, resume your seats. Senator Eten, resume your seats. Chairman upstream. You look like you are in your early 40s. Se-
But what I said is not impossible.
Yes. Yes,
The chamber is ready for business, sir.
Any petitions? No petition. Leader of the Senate.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes,
Mr. President.
Sorry,
Mr.
leader.
President, sir.
Leader, the Senator Ningi said point of order.
Mr. President, sir. There are indeed petitions.
There is petition?
Yeah, there are petitions.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Neda Emanson, representing the good people of Edo South Senatorial District. I have three petitions, Mr. President, that I wish to lay. The first is the petition written by Mr. Jude Chukudoli and received through the Office of the President of the Senate against the Nigerian Customs Services for alleged seizure in March 2021 of its Mercedes-Benz 814-1995 model truck, chassis number WDBG74213-1K 33793, that he shipped from Amsterdam to Nigeria on April 2020. He prayed that the Senate should look into the matter and prevail on the Nigerian Customs Services to release the truck unconditionally to him and pay all the losses he incurred as a result of the illegal confiscation of the truck. The second petition is petition from my constituents by Mr. Sunday Ashoke and two others against the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps over alleged looting, reckless and malicious vandalization of a truck belonging to Mr. Sunday Ashoke with registration number LSR 04SG by men of NSCDC at Asaba Command Corps in 2017. He prayed that the Senate should look into the matter and compel NSCDC to compensate him accordingly. The third, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, is a petition from Engineer Abubakar Abdullahi, Chairman Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, Kaduna Polytechnic Chapter, against the management of Kaduna Polytechnic for non-compliance to regularize the appointment of engineer technologist staff employed in 2019 and 2020 to date, in line with the enhanced entry point of engineers in the public services approved by the Federal Executive Council through the National Council of Establishments in 2018 and gazetted by the head of civil service of the Federation. This petitioner prayed that the Senate should look into the matter and mandate the management of Kaduna Polytechnic to implement the enhanced entry point of engineers as approved by the Federal Executive Council, place and promote them accordingly, and pay their 4-month salary arrears and 28 days in lieu of accommodation. These are the petitions, Mr. President, and with your permission, may I come forward to lay them.
Please proceed. The petitions are all referred to the Committee on Ethics, Code of Conduct, and Public Petitions to revert to the Senate in 4 weeks.
Point of order. Point of order.
Yes, the Civil Senator Nengi, what order?
Order 42, Mr. President.
Yes.
And by your leave, can I read?
Proceed.
By the indulgence of the Senate and the leave of the President of the Senate, a senator may make a personal explanation, although there will be no question before the Senate, but no controversial matter may be brought forward, nor may debate arise upon the explanation. The terms of the proposed statement shall be submitted in details to the President of the Senate when his leave to make a thought. Mr. President, I was before you this morning, and I brought a matter that is a little bit disturbing, and that has to do with the process of law making. Mr. President, we've been indicted with news, even by the main media, that this Senate has before it a proposal for one single day election, a proposal for the shift of dates. Mr. Senate President, I am a member of this electoral committee and an all legislature. The lawmaking is a very long process. We had the second reading of the Electoral Act, and it's submitted to the committee. Mr. President, in the last 1.5 years, we have been having series of public hearings and retreats that span across all over the country. Mr. President, before any news media takes the issue of NAS, the subcommittees of the Senate and the subcommittee of the House must submit its report formally, and that report is debated. And when that report is debated and accepted, that is when the media say there is a proposal before the NAS that is accepted. Mr. President, on Thursday, we are going to Akwa Ibom to continue with what we have been doing over the last 1.5 years, because we wanted to create an electoral system that is fair and it's good for all the country. So it is wrong for anybody here to say there is a report before the Senate, before the House of Representatives, or before the National Assembly. There are no reports, Mr. President. What is before these two committees, and we work jointly, are proposals from the outcome of various public hearings and retreats. Before anybody accepts any report, our committee will have to now put our report forward. And that is why you now say there is a report, there is a proposal, and there is acceptance. So it is important to guide the general public about the process of lawmaking. It is long, tedious, and rigorous. I thought, as a member of the Electoral Committee, I must make this submission clearly. Nothing before the National Assembly yet. There is nothing before the National Assembly. Yes, there are things before the Joint Committees on Electoral Act, but not the National Assembly. I hope we'll be guided, Mr. President.
Distinguished Senator Ningi, thank you. I must commend you for this clarification. It's important for people to know that lawmaking has its own processes. We have not reached a point where any committee report on Electoral Act amendment has been submitted to the Senate or to the National Assembly. When we get there, we shall discuss. So it's important that from time to time, the media team of the National Assembly, that is the House of Representatives inclusive, try to educate the public because there is a lot of misinformation out there. But the misinformation is also slightly positive in the sense that it shows the public's interest in what we are doing here. And now they look forward to the amendment. Thank you for the clarification. Yes, Senator
Point of order.
Anyeka Mbasi.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Anyeka Mbasi, Akwa Ibom Northeast. My point of order is pursuant to Order 4151 of the Senate Standing Order 2023 as amended. Your Excellency, if I have your leave, I can proceed.
Senator Basi had approached me. What country did you mention?
It's motion on the urgent need to protect Nigerians from trafficking, slavery, and human rights abuses in Libya.
In Libya?
Yes, Your Excellency.
So he has a very cogent and urgent information and this to share with us on what is going on with Nigerians in Libya. Is it the view of the Senate that he be allowed to proceed? Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues. The Senate notes that irregular migration through Libya has become a notorious route, exposing thousands of Nigerians to grave dangers, including trafficking, slavery, ransom extortion, and widespread human rights violation. The Senate further notes that in the first quarter of this year alone, nearly 1,000 Nigerians were repatriated from Libya, with survivors recounting harrowing experiences of forced detention, torture, sexual abuse, organ exploitation, and other acts of modern-day slavery. The Senate is aware that recently, a Nigerian woman, Mercy Olugbenga, narrated how she sold her family's property and dropped out of the university to travel to Libya, only to be held captive for over a year, while her blood was repeatedly drained against her will, an incident that underscores the brutality of the crisis. The Senate is further aware that Amnesty International, the International Organization of Nigeria, and other credible bodies have documented consistent reports of arbitrary detention, torture, rape, forced labor, and killings of migrants in Libyan detention centers operated by both state and non-state actors. Worried that such recurring abuses not only diminish Nigeria's international reputation, but also erode citizens' confidence in the government's ability to provide protection both domestically and abroad. Concerned that returnees face significant reintegration challenges, including trauma, stigmatization, and lack of economic opportunities, leaving them vulnerable to re-trafficking and undermining national stability. The Senate is disturbed that without urgent reforms
stronger border enforcement, stiffer penalties for traffickers, and gender-sensitive protection measures for women and girls. Nigeria risks continued exploitation of our citizens abroad and erosion of sovereignty. Prayers. Senate accordingly resolve to 1. Urge the federal government through NAPTIP, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, and relevant state governments to establish a comprehensive reintegration and protection program for Nigerian returnees from Libya, including psychosocial support, vocational training, and enterprise startup assistance. 2. Call on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to intensify diplomatic engagement with Libyan authorities and mobilize collective regional and international action through the AU, ECOWAS, and the UN to secure safety of Nigerians in Libyan detention camps and ensure accountability for human rights violations. The Senate also mandates the Committee on Diaspora, Judiciary to Human Rights, and Foreign Affairs to investigate the activities of NAPTIP, the Immigration Service, and other border agencies with respect to trafficking networks and unlicensed travel agents. I recommend legislative or policy measures for stronger deterrence. I so move. Thank you.
Senator Annie.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Professor Anthony Ane. I represent Ebonyi South. I rise to second the motion on the urgent need to protect Nigerians from trafficking, slavery, and human rights abuses in Libya. Having seconded, with your permission, sir, let me lend my voice to this very important motion. This has been a recurring decimal in our national life. Libya has been an epicenter where this human rights abuse seems to be so much domiciled. Victims of this human traffic offense have faced a lot of exploitations, inhuman treatment, and so many ugly stories about their encounters. Their health is put in jeopardy. They are incomplete, dependent on the traffickers. So I so much agree with all the contents and the crafting of this motion. And it's my opinion, my desire, that all of us will lend a voice to this by calling on the agencies responsible, all the relevant agencies of government, to intensify their efforts in curbing this excess. Because this has put Nigeria in a very bad image. The story all this time, all these years, has been so bad. And the thing keeps repeating itself day by day, week by week, month by month. It seems government and in particular the relevant agencies are not sitting up to their responsibilities to see that this is stopped. So I strongly support that strong efforts should be made to curb this excess because it's biting very badly on the social fabric of this country. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I so submit.
Thank you. Is there anybody opposed to this motion? Distinguished Senator Oshimole.
Mr. President, sir, I am absolutely sympathetic to the conditions of those who have found themselves in Libya, one way or the other. But I think we also have a duty, maybe through National Orientation Agency or any other agency, to advise our people. We are in a free country, nobody needs exit visa to travel. But people should be informed that after the collapse of Gaddafi, Libya is no longer what it used to be. And Nigerians will leave this country no matter what anybody say. This country is far ahead of some of those countries that they have been trafficked to. They have this illusion that once you are out of Nigeria boundaries, all is well. We need, as much as we talk about how to assist those who are already there, we have to discuss how to prevent more and more Nigerians from going to Libya, following illegal routes. They don't have visa to get there. And if you follow illegal route to go to a country with its own serious internal security challenges, what are you to expect? In spite of all the effort of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Commission on Diaspora, they have paraded young men and women who are being brutalized, dehumanized in Libya. And yet, some Nigerians will still take advantage to go there. What are they looking for? We need to also educate our people. Because as we speak, even our security challenges in Nigeria, not a few believe that with the collapse of the authorities in Libya, those weapons that are now in Nigeria that are being used for kidnapping, for mayhem, for all kinds of criminality, many trace them to the collapse of Gaddafi and the subsequent anarchy that prevailed in Libya for a long, long time. So I think we should do both. Not just condemn how our people are treated in Libya, but also focus on how to discourage our people from going there. They need to know that that is not a place you go for, quote, greener pasture. There is no pasture there, whether green, blue, or black. Nigerians need to be educated on this. Because like you said, my brother, these have been over and over and over. And yet, our people keep going there. I think we do need to search our own conscience, educate our own people, and discourage them from going to zones that we know, if they get there, they are going to end up in the manner that some of these people have ended up. Thank you, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, let us look at the prayers. Prayer 1. Unless you have any additional information, otherwise it's been seriously debated. Is there anything different from what they said? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Victor Ume, OFR. I represent Anambra Central Senatorial District. Mr. President, you will recall that I was chairman of Senate Committee on Diaspora previously. So I understand the weight and import of this motion. And I'm standing to say that apart from the graphic details presented to us by our distinguished brother, Aniekan. We are aware, when I was chairman of that committee, that Nigerians have been subjected to unacceptable inhuman treatment by some countries in Africa. And we are members of African Union.
Yeah.
We are members of African Union. There is no reason why an African will find himself in another African country and he will be so or she treated as if he's not a human being. There were videos made in this Libya where Nigerians were subjected to unacceptable inhuman treatment. So I want to say that apart from the prayers here, that we should be able to use the auspices of the African Union, to be able to drive this warning to African nations that treat their brothers as if they are animals. Anybody can find himself anywhere. And when you are found somewhere, there are protocols and laws that will govern the way you treat people you find in your land, even if the person entered there illegally. It's not by putting them in the chamber and kill them because you found them in your country. So this thing they are doing to Nigerians must stop. Let government use the auspices of the African Union. Any country that is dealing with Africans in this manner shall be blacklisted. I agree with Senator Shomole that we have to put alert signals to Nigerians and place certain countries on red alert where Nigerians should not go there because the hatred is too much. We're not talking about Libya. If you go to Ethiopia, we face the same situation. Nigerians face the same situation in Ethiopia. In Central African Republic, the same thing. And these are African countries. If we have African Union as a union that joins us as Africans, the African Union will not look the other way. When people are abused and molested in this ugly way, Nigerians are being treated in some countries in Africa. So that's what I want to say, and I believe that the African Union should not watch, and these things will continue. Thank you.
Thank you. So, prayer one, urge the federal government through NAPTIP, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, and relevant state governments to establish a comprehensive reintegration and protection program for Nigerian returnees from Libya, including psychosocial support, vocational training, and enterprise startup assistance. Those in support of prayer one say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer two, call on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to intensify diplomatic engagement with Libyan authorities and to mobilize collective regional and international action through the AU, ECOWAS, and the United Nations to secure the safety of Nigerians in Libya, in Libyan detention camps, and ensure accountability for human rights violations. Those in support of prayer two say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer three, mandate the Committee on Diaspora, Judiciary, Human Rights, and the Committee on Foreign Affairs to investigate the activities of NAPTIP, the Immigration Service, and border agencies with respect to trafficking networks, unlicensed travel agents, and recommend legislative or policy measures for stronger deterrence. Yes, you want to amend? Distinguished Senator Idiot. Okay, go ahead.
Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, arise to propose an amendment to prayer 3. has written here to say direct the Committee on Diaspora and non-governmental organization, Judiciary, Human Rights, and legal matters, and Foreign Affairs to conduct a comprehensive. I think NAPTIP should also, all the agencies mentioned, including NAPTIP, border agencies and traffic and other traffic and fraudulent, other agencies are the ones to investigate the activities of these traffickers and fraudulent, because NAPTIP is charged with the responsibility to ensure that all Nigerians that have been that are in Libya are repatriated back to Nigeria. They are involved in the investigation itself. So I don't see why we are suggesting that the Committee on Diaspora should now go and investigate the activities of NAPTIP. NAPTIP that is helping to repatriate these people, that is helping to rehabilitate them when they are back in Nigeria. All of these agencies of government that I mentioned should be part of the committee or group of agencies of government that will investigate the issue of trafficking and fraudulent travel agents in Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. President.
So your proposal is
My proposal,
the
therefore,
way we should couch it.
My proposal, therefore, Mr. President, is that to put a committee together which will involve Committee on Diaspora and non-governmental organizations, Judiciary, Human Rights, and Legal Matter, Foreign Affairs, as well as NAPTIP, to investigate traffic and fraudulent travel agencies in Nigeria that are involved in trafficking our people out of Nigeria.
Yes. Thank you. Deputy Senate President. The Deputy Senate President, you want to second that amendment?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes.
Barrow Jabri cannot. I second the motion as ably moved by my sister, Senator Adebule Idia Laurenti. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, Senator Idia has amended prayer 3 and seconded by no other personality than the Deputy Senate President. Those in support of the amendment to prayer 3 as proposed, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Well, I don't think, yes, distinguished Senator Adam Doshimole, additional prayer.
Mr. President, sir, thank you very much. My name is Adam Doshimole Aliu Eric State. I do not. I propose that we add additional prayer to the effect that the national orientation agencies and other agencies of government should do everything possible to sensitize Nigerians, young and old, to stop going to war-torn areas like Libya. We have to be specific because over the past 4 years or so, virtually every year, Nigerians are being repatriated. As they are being repatriated, more are going there. We have to deal with the supply side. So I think at this point, ordinarily we would not, for diplomatic reasons, if it's not healthy to measure the name of Libya, we can say Nigeria should be discouraged. We should sensitize them to recognize that some countries are in a state of anarchy, that it does not make sense for Nigeria to go there in search of anything. We have to do, as they say, prevention is better than cure. I think additional prayer like that seeks to sensitize our people might be helpful. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes. The distinguished Senator Nenwoko, you want to second the motion? It's not a debate. He has moved that we should urge the National Orientation Agency to, as a matter of urgency, educate Nigerians, old and young, on the dangers of immigrating to countries that are war-torn.
I understand.
Based on the suffering and enslavement that Nigerians are currently going through.
Yes, Mr.
And
President.
I think it's a very good proposal.
Yes.
That sensitization is important. So,
Mr. President,
No,
my name is
Nema is up there.
Senator Ned Nwoko.
So you want to second that?
Yes, I do second the motion ably moved by Senator Adams Oshomole.
Thank you. Distinguished colleagues, Senator Adams Oshomole has moved for an additional prayer that we should urge the National Orientation Agency to, as a matter of urgency, commence immediate sensitization of all Nigerians on the dangers of emigrating to countries that are war-torn and in conflict because of the experiences and the sufferings that other Nigerians have gone through. And it has been seconded by Senator Ned Nwoko. Those in support of this additional prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Let me now thank distinguished Senator.
Additional prayer, Mr. President. Just indulge me, please, just 1 minute.
Additional
prayers. Mr. President, I think what we should also do...
No, additional prayer.
Yes. I do propose an additional prayer that should mandate our border control agencies to exercise firm discretion in allowing or refusing Nigerians the permit to live at the borders. As we just said from the prayers of Adams Oshomole.
So we should mandate
our border control agencies.
Our border control agencies.
Yes, to exercise firm discretion.
To exercise firm discretion
in deciding whether to allow our Nigerians who are moving or traveling to certain designated places, whether they should be allowed to exit or not. Just because they have a visa or they have a passport doesn't mean that they should be allowed.
No, I want additional prayer.
No, you can't talk about freedom. No. Mr. President,
your additional prayer is that we should
mandate
the Senate should mandate
our border control agencies.
The border control agencies
to exercise firm discretion.
To exercise firm discretion
in refusing any traveler whose mission to Libya specifically is not cogent.
But how will you know? Because if they have a visa,
the border control, that's their job to find out.
No.
If you don't do this, Mr.
It will infringe on the constitutional provisions of freedom of association and freedom of movement.
Then this problem will never stop.
Because if they have a visa to go and see the president of Libya,
yes,
and you say they should not go, but then any seconder to this additional prayer? No seconder. Okay.
Additional prayer, please.
Additional prayer, yes.
Thank you, Senate President. I'm Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, representing the people of Kogi Central. I do have an additional prayer that the Nigerian Immigration and Prison Services should liaise with the Libyan prisons to repatriate Nigerian female prisoners who birthed children in prisons. This is born out of the fact that numerous Nigerian women who were sex trafficked to Libya and happened to escape the unworthy, unhuman situations were arrested and detained in the Libyan prisons, and they are being used to satisfy the sexual urges of the prison warders and prison officials. It is a fact that many of our Nigerian women who found themselves in the Libyan prisons are pregnant, and many have given birth to children who live in the prisons. So I would appreciate the chambers and my colleagues do approve this so that children, innocent children who are of Nigerian heritage do not suffer with their innocent mothers, that they be brought back to Nigeria. Thank you.
Any seconder that we should urge the Nigerian
Immigration and Prison Services to
liaise
with the Libyan prisons to repatriate Nigerian female prisoners who birthed children in Libyan prisons.
All right. Any seconder? Any seconder? Yes, seconder, the leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the additional prayer as most ably moved by distinguished Senator Natasha.
Repeat the additional prayer so that people will understand.
Well, Mr. President, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues,
The additional prayer.
I know at all times and in all
the additional
situations.
prayer is.
Mr. President, I know at all times and in all situations I have the protection of Mr. President.
You have my protection.
And
just,
I know.
Just
secondly,
repeat the additional prayer
yes,
for the benefit of all.
Secondly, Mr. President, secondly, it is already in our Hansard recorded that Mr. President, in asking for secondment, did himself repeat
but before
the additional prayer. And I'm relying on that. Thank you, sir.
I know that the Senate leader is a lawyer. Don't practice your law on the Senate. Repeat what you are seconding. It's very simple. You are seconding the additional prayer, so repeat it so that they can capture it very well.
On a serious note, Mr. President, our additional prayer, I mean, it was a very lengthy one.
Which one?
And part, Mr. President, part of what we have been trying to also let our colleagues know is that an additional prayer should not be a debate. But her additional prayer was simply to direct the immigration service to liaise with the Libyan authorities with a view to returning female prisoners. That was our additional prayer.
Distinguished colleagues, the additional prayer has been explained. Those in support of the additional prayer say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So let me now thank distinguished Senator Anyeka Mbasi, former Speaker Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, for bringing this to the fore. And pray that when this is communicated to the relevant authorities, Senator Garba and his committee on legislative compliance will follow up to be sure that all the prayers we have brought out today, including the additional prayers, are adhered to. And then use this opportunity to also urge Nigerian youths that home is home. Home is best. That sometimes some of the places you are going into, you may be going into a lot of suffering because you are looking for greener pastures, while the home may be greener than where you are looking at. May God guide us as we take decisions on immigration. And may God protect Nigerians wherever they are, whether in Libya or in other countries. Thank you for bringing this to the fore. Leader of the Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President, and very distinguished colleagues, senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The first business of the day is the presentation of a House bill standing in the name of the Senate leader on the Export Prohibition Act Repeal Bill 2025 HB 2460. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Export Prohibition Act Repeal Bill 2025 HB 2460, first reading.
Distinguished colleagues, Export Prohibition Act Repeal Bill 2025 HB 2460, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished senators, the second business of the day is the presentation of a House bill standing in the name of the Senate leader on the Criminal Code Act Amendment Bill 2025 HB 151. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Criminal Code Act Amendment Bill 2025 HB 151, first reading.
Distinguished colleagues, Criminal Code Act Amendment Bill 2025, HB 151, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the third business of the day is the presentation of a House bill standing in the name of the Senate leader on the Chartered Institute of Digital Forensic of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025 HB 140. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Chartered Institute of Digital Forensic of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025 HB 140, first reading.
Distinguished colleagues, Chartered Institute of Digital Forensics of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025, HB 140, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the fourth business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of most distinguished Senator Olamilekan Adeola Solomon on the Chartered Pension Institute of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025 SB 251. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title.
Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Chartered Pension Institute of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025 SB 251, first reading.
Distinguished colleagues, it's actually Certified Pension Institute of Nigeria Establishment Bill 2025 SB 251, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the fifth business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of Her Excellency, most distinguished Senator Banigo Iqbalibo Hari, on the FCT Health Insurance Agency Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 591. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, FCT Health Insurance Agency Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 591, first reading.
Distinguished colleagues, FCT Health Insurance Agency Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 591, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the sixth business of the day is the presentation of a bill standing in the name of most distinguished Senator Sulaiman Umar Sadiq on the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 911. Mr. President, you may wish to invite the Clerk of the Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Nigerian College of Aviation Technology Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 911, first reading.
Distinguished colleagues, Nigerian College of Aviation Technology Act Amendment Bill 2025 SB 911, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
We are going to have a full session. Fighting hard work is government funding.
You know, we had
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I am rising to move for suspension of the other items on the order paper to the next legislative day, and also that we at this time proceed to have an executive session, after which we'll be back for the chairman to report progress. I so move, Mr. President.
Minority Leader. Minority Leader.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I second the motion that the Senate suspends the other items on the order paper and go into a closed-door session, after which the Senate will adjourn. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, a motion has been moved and seconded that we suspend all other items on the order paper to enable us go into a closed session as discussed in our last sitting. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So we go into closed session.